lot of fun. Um, how'd you guys, staff wise, how did it go for you? Everybody have
Yeah, the kids they're having fun. I explained to them it was the last one and they might have a different class this semester, and they all seemed good, but high energy, having fun. So
hmm That's awesome. Well, great. All right. Well, next Monday, we do not have school. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So no exploration day, no classes. And then the week after, we start our next session. But today is the last day, I believe, to sign up for your classes for Exploration Day for the next session. So if you haven't done that already, today's a great day to do it. So um, I know they're going to be looking at all of the signups and putting people in with the lottery system that we have. So get in now before the end of the day. All right. Any other announcements before we talk a little bit about state testing coming up? All right. Well, cool. We have Jamie Martin here, and she has done a lot of work here at the BCA, organizing state testing over the years. And there's kind of an exciting thing that we've got coming up. So, Jamie, what can we look forward to? I know state testing isn't always the most exciting topic for people, but is there any
No.
way that it could be better? That's what I want to know.
So this year, we get the families get the option of testing remotely, which means that your students can test from home. So we also have in-person testing, but if you are one that would like the ease and comfort of home and less stress and no traveling, that's what I would suggest. There are a couple of technical things that you have to do to be able to test remotely. So the form, we're calling it the BCA state testing form. It will be emailed out to parents here in the next couple of days. We keep finding little snafus regarding the technology. So we're just trying to work through those to make sure that the form is all up to date and correct. But then as soon as families get it, and this is for grades 3 through 8 and 11th grade. So if you have any students that are outside of those grades, you don't need to worry about them. But each family will be receiving one form, one email per student. So you have to fill out the form for each one of your students. And you, for the form, you say, yes, I want to do in person, or I would rather do remote. And then if you choose the remote option, you get to follow the steps for the technology piece of it. And then we will get you, we haven't announced officially, we haven't officially set all of the dates, the testing dates. So we're just kind of waiting to hear from families how many remote, how many in person. But that information is coming out soon. We would love to have the forms back by around the 23rd, as close to the 23rd of January as possible, just so we can get the scheduling piece done. However, we have to get the forms to you. So we're hoping that as soon as we get these tech things figured out, we will send out those forms.
Nice. And when is state testing going to be?
So the remote portion of it is going to be start on April 13th, and it's going to be kind of a long test window in order to accommodate everybody and just have a kind of an easy, stress-free testing experience this year.
So if I'm a parent and this is exciting, like I want to test at home, the testing at the school environment seems really sterile. My kid gets very nervous with testing. I can do it at home. I need to check to see whether or not my computer or whatever device I'm using can handle this test at home. There is a component where I'm needing to download something. But once that happens, I've gone through all the initial stuff,
Mhm.
what does that testing actually look like? Do I have somebody from the Department of Education watching me as my kid is testing, or?
Luckily not. So how it works is you will schedule your student into a test session, a remote test session, and those will be announced later in February. Parents will be able to go in and schedule their students 2 different schedule sessions as of March 3rd, and those will come out and be available on portal. So once you get your students scheduled into a remote session, the day of testing and the hour of testing. So this isn't official, but we're hoping that we'll be able to schedule it every hour. So they'll be able to jump in like 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 9 o'clock in the morning, whatever your student prefers. They'll jump in, they'll watch a little short video that gives them the testing directions. After that video, it gives them a session ID number. So once they've got the browser up, the secure browser app installed and it's up, they'll type in their login and then they'll go into that session ID. And then from there, they'll be entered into like a waiting room, like a test waiting room. And they won't see any of the other students on there or anything like that. They'll just be able to see that the session is live, and it will be proctored by a BCA staff member. So a BCA staff member that has the OSAS training will be proctoring it, and they'll just go ahead and admit them into the test session, and they can go ahead and start testing. So if they have questions during the test, they can absolutely raise their hand, and there's a chat feature that only the proctor and the student can see. Or if you have enabled camera visual, it's an option you can either do with the camera or test without the camera. If you have the opted into allowing the camera, then there is a video component where the proctor and the student can see each other face to face, and the proctor can help assist in walking through the screen. The student can share the screen and things like that. I mean, basically the answer, if your student needs help with any of the questions, is just do your best. But sometimes they need help looking on which button they need to push, like in which arrow button gets them to the next screen or something like that. So.
And I know obviously third graders are new to state testing in general, but for those that have done state testing before, the format is very similar if you're testing at home or in person. Is that correct?
It's actually the exact same. The
Okay.
only difference is you're in person in a room full of other people in front of their computers, but the actual platform is the exact same.
So the real questions are, can my computer handle it? And do I want to test in my pajamas?
Yes.
And the answer to the second one is definitely yes. So the first one is really the one we need to figure out. That's wonderful. I am so glad that we have that option. And also, if parents don't have a device that is capable of running that, or they feel like their child would do better in person, that option is still there.
Absolutely. Yep.
Any questions from anybody while we have Jamie? Thank you so much for coming and talking this out with us about remote testing and what that could look like at the BCA. All right.
Wonderful.
Well, cool. Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of testing, the other thing I want to bring up again is that next year there is a potential change to the other parts of our tests that we do. For K-8, we have Easy CBM and iReady, but there is a Senate bill, a 141, that has said that each school in Oregon has to adopt one of 4 assessments that the state has provided. Actually, they're not providing it. We've still got to pay for it, but we need to do one of these 4 assessments. And those 4 assessments, we don't have to do all 4 of them, just pick one. And that is what we would turn in our results, and that would be the thing that they would be tracking um, school progress, I guess, throughout the year. Now, what are those four assessments? Well, if one of them is iReady or Easy CBM, great, then we don't really have to change anything that we're doing. But if neither one of them is iReady or Easy CBM, then that means that we are going to have to take a serious look at what we are doing with our testing and potentially modify our current practice so that we can accommodate this new law that is coming down. Right now, we've heard through the grapevine, even though they haven't really officially given the list, that Easy CBM is probably not on the list. So that's a 50-50 chance on iReady, and not good. So we'll see what the future holds actually and take it as it comes. But according to the latest, that announcement will be given by January 30th, 2026. So right around the corner. I don't know if there is any other information besides what I'm sharing, but it does have the ability to shift how we are testing at the BCA. So there's that. Any other thoughts, announcements, or things to share? Matt, I was just curious about with the semester ending, is there anything that our high school students need to know before the end of the semester comes up?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So we're moving into the semester rollover. This week is week 17, so it's the last week we're accepting coursework that is not a final exam or a final assignment. So that's going to be due at 11:59 on Friday, and then next week is finals week, which the only coursework that students will have is a final exam or a final assignment, depending on their curriculum. And that's going to be due Thursday, 11:59. And then we're going to be working on setting up our semester 2 courses. And then the following Monday is the first day of semester 2.
Nice. So get the work done this week by Friday, unless it's a final exam.
Yep, that's right.
All right, cool. Really cool. Wonderful. There's isn't it unreal that we are at the halfway point for the year? We're so close. And it's a perfect opportunity for me to get on a plane and go somewhere else. I am going to be leaving the next 2 weeks to Malaysia. We actually have one of our employees, Helen Belville, who is the Director of Systems Development, who is currently in Malaysia working out some things with an adoption with her twin girls. And so I'm going to go visit and see what is happening over there, how everybody is doing. And I will be back by the end of the month. So if you need to get a hold of me, I still will be checking email and all of that. But my response might be a little bit slower because my day will be your night. But I'll be hard at work all night long. All night long. So good times. I am here if anybody has any concerns, any questions, anything that they would like to talk about. If not, there is one other thing that I wanted to bring up because I do think it's important. It has to do with philosophy on our high school program, and introducing students to what some might think are controversial topics. And what I like to say is that Bridge Charter Academy, we are not at all trying to create controversy here or indoctrinate anyone. Certainly at the younger grade levels, it is very important for us that families have their own traditions and beliefs, and we want to respect that. We only have students for 3 hours once a week, and there really is no reason to get into all kinds of sticky topics when the 3 hours goes by so fast anyway. However, when it comes to students in high school, I do have a different opinion because our mission and vision here at Bridge Charter Academy is that we would like to prepare students for what is after high school. Now, part of that is being able to think through different things. I am not trying to indoctrinate anybody in high school either, but I do want students to have the ability to think through different issues, regardless of where they come and land on those issues. But the process of thinking through is a skill that students are going to need if they are going to be able to succeed in the world. So there may be a situation where a topic that is brought up, and again, nothing too controversial, may be something that you as a family are not always a fan of, maybe, and that's fine. We can definitely talk about that, and maybe there would be an alternative assignment or something that we can do. Again, I'm not saying that we have all these controversial topics in high school, but the core thing is that I don't think it is healthy to shield high schoolers totally from things that they will and already have been exposed to in the world because of fear. I personally want to lean more into the realm of, okay, how do we equip them to think through these things in a meaningful way? And that, I think, our school has done a really good job of. Back in the day, Matt Shumsky, who was our social studies subject area specialist, he's now our high school director. He used to teach a big ideas in social studies class where he brought up some current topics. And of course, those topics, especially in the world today, no matter which topic you bring up, there's going to be some sides. People will think one way or they will think another way, and it can be really hard to navigate those things. But what I appreciate about Matt, and this is still the tone that he is setting for the high school program, is that he was very careful to not push an answer, but to really guide students through the journey of how do you think about these things? How do you consider the arguments for the other side and your own arguments for the things that you actually believe? Teaching students to think, to develop a curiosity and a love of wisdom, which is not the same thing as just a love of learning. The love of wisdom takes that knowledge in and says, okay, I've got all of these facts or all this information, but how do I put it together for the betterment of myself and for the people around me? And that type of higher level thinking is really something that we need our high schoolers to engage with. And that means that they're going to have to be not like we're pushing anything, but they will be exposed to things that they disagree with. And how they handle that is what I hope will prepare them for after high school and to be good citizens of the United States of America. May it last for a while. So, yes, if there's any thoughts there, you can send your complaints to M. Shumsky at, no, I'm just kidding. Ben Celebi. This is actually a good time to send your complaints because I'm going on vacation. I'll be gone. No, I appreciate it. It's bcelebi at bridgecharter.com, and we can go from there. Well, that is really all that I have for our meeting today, but I am open for any questions, any feedback, any thoughts that you have. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful rest of this week and a great holiday on Monday. Hopefully, it can slow down and you can enjoy your family. And then we will start up again the following week with our new session of Exploration Day, which you will participate in because you will have signed up for something by the end of today. So that sounds good. By the way, I think I might need to just make sure that I did that. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful day. We will talk to you next time.